Hello and welcome to DCG's development update. We are here with the platform, the core, and the mobile team to give you an update of what happened in the past 2 weeks. We will have a dedicated Q&A session at the end, so if you have any questions, please, with a Q or a question prefix, put it in the chat below. Without further ado, let's start with Sam and the platform team.
Oh yeah, it is me. I am Sam.
Indeed,
The AI has not yet taken over my spirit, or maybe it
yet.
has. Um, so in platform team, Lucas was on vacation, so it was really just me and Paul working. And Paul was on Dash Evo tool, I was on Rust Dash Core and iOS. So actually a lot of on Rust Dash Core, which is the core side of our Rust libraries. Massive amount of work there with Pasta, actually. So this overview isn't really correct. Pasta, real shout out to him on helping there. Okay, let's go on. So what is our release plan for 2.1? We plan to release approximately the 23rd of September, which is on Tuesday. We'll release included in the release will be the JS SDK, massive Rust SDK improvements, the iOS SDK, RS DAPI client, basically that much faster state transitions. So when you send out, we've been previously saying that there was a massive problem in uh, the the last part that was JavaScript in our whole ecosystem. It was taking 40 seconds instead of two. And this will bring it down to two. So, we can't wait for that. That will be really a massive improvement. Um, and then there'll also be small improvements here and there. We're gonna probably add in one or two desired features that were missed out. There are some queries as well that will be added in, but nothing major. So that will be 2.1, 23rd of September. It will also, Pasta has to keep me honest here, but I believe we'll have a version of Core as well that will ship with it, a new version of Core. Okay, so let's go on to Rust Dash Core and what's been going on there. So we have a completely new modular architecture. Rust Dash Core comparing it to 2 months ago looks completely different in architecture, in code, yeah, in quality as well. So basically, we now have a library that does all the syncing called SPV that Pasta pretty much wrote, and an FFI boundary library as well that basically transforms the Rust into C code. We have a wallet as well that the SPV client basically uses. It uses a key wallet manager that holds many wallets, and downloads blocks and then verifies with the wallet, hey, are you interested in this blocks, and does all the syncing. And that's basically the main architectural backbone. And yeah, so we've done all this and we verified it working. I think last week we saw it working for the first time, like really working with transactions being accepted by the wallet and balances and everything. So, a lot of improvement there. But again, it was only working in Rust in a non-UI way. Basically, we saw it working just, in terminal. So now there was a lot of work to, well, ongoing work on getting this all integrated and fixing issues. We also implemented a new CI system, which is continuous integration. In our new system, there can be no formatting issues, no linting issues, no warnings, nothing that causes code debt. So the new code is completely pristine. It must be documented. Everything. It also, if it automatically writes documentation for AI. And so, like, if the documentation does not exist, you can't merge in the code. So, all calls are all FFI calls, for example, are have documentation associated to them. So then various clients like Swift, which is iOS, or Android, or Golang, or various other languages can all use this system, use this AI documentation. So really, really a lot of work here, and it's going to show a little bit later when we have a demo on iOS. Paul?
Thank you, Sam. Um, yeah, so I've been working on Dash Evo tool. We did a v0.9.2 release, which enabled tokens on mainnet. Sam brought to my attention almost 2 weeks ago that they weren't working on mainnet, which is kind of funny that it's V9 has been out for a while, and that was the first time that I really became aware of it. I so yeah, I mean, it was just a switch had to be flipped to turn it on that we missed because we've been doing all of our testing and stuff using testnet. So we had a conversation about how to avoid issues like that in the future, and we're gonna have basically put more checks in place and ensure we do better testing before releases in the future. But yeah, so I mean, if you had tried creating a token on mainnet with Dash Evo tool before, it's working now. So yeah, we did that release. That was just a quick thing. But the majority of my time has been spent building Dash Pay in Dash Evo tool, and it's pretty much finished except for like payment stuff. We need to integrate SPV into Dash Evo tool first. Yeah, but everything else is done. The stuff for contact requests, sending, accepting, rejecting. We have creating and updating public profiles, as well as a search feature, creating and updating private contact info. Like if you want to keep info about some contact that is just private, like it's just client side, just for you. We have auto accepting contact requests via QR code and signature verification. That's for, if you can imagine, like you're a merchant or something, a storefront, and you want someone to pay you through Dash Pay, you can just display a QR code and you'll automatically accept their contact request. Yeah, so basically to finish this, I think Sam is close to being done, or is almost done with the SPV stuff. So he told me today I can basically get started on adding that into Dash Evo tool, and then we can finalize the payment stuff. And that should be ready pretty soon then. Yeah, and I'm also finalizing the UI, mainly trying to get the avatars like lined up and stuff. Yeah, Rust tooling for UI is like not the best yet. I think, it's kind of early stages for it still, but so that can be kind of time consuming sometimes. Yeah, and another thing that I am almost done with is we're doing a signed download manager for releases for Mac instead of an unsigned zip. So you won't get that like malware warning anymore when you download the newest release. Yeah, so just doing the finishing touches on that, it'll make the barrier to entry a lot easier for people. So yeah, that will be in the next release. Thank you.
Awesome. Sounds good. So, moving on with core stuff, I have been helping out with Rust Core and making progress there. Sam and I have been kind of like, I would guess, kind of bouncing back and forth. You know, he'll work for 8 to 12 hours, and then he'll give me a task while he sleeps, and I'll work on that, and then we'll continue kind of in a cycle like that. So we've been making good progress there.
Don't let people know that I sleep.
True, true. My bad. Sam never sleeps. He works 24/7. It's just in the time where,
He works on something different. Why?
of course, of
Yeah.
course.
While I'm
Anyway,
sleeping.
um, also
Why
do,
pasta is awake?
yeah. So also, in parallel, a good chunk of progress has been being made on various core development. One of the kind of biggest interesting things in the last cycle that was merged in and wrapped up was the GUI for creating governance proposals was merged in. So I think I had maybe mentioned that previously, but that's all wrapped up and merged in now, as well as compact filter improvements for mobile has been merged in. And so, right, this dash SPV primarily uses compact filters for historical block analysis, and that has a number of advantages. But Core has supported it for a while, but there were a couple of things that a couple of like bugs that were discovered during this, as well as the fact that it wasn't enabled by default. So one of these PRs enables compact filters by default for masternodes. It uses a little extra disk space, but overall the overhead is pretty low. And we're also now including the special transaction information inside of the compact filter so that you can get, you can check whether there's a special transaction that you're interested in a block as well. That was kind of the bug. So, um, not strictly a bug, but more of a feature, I guess. But for our use case, you really need to be able to detect special transactions that you're interested in. So that was implemented, and it was a relatively easy fix. And that has been resolved and merged in. We're continuing to make progress on extended addresses, and hopefully, we'll be able to get that merged in the next little bit. Um, Constantine has been doing some work on some functional test improvements, making functional tests faster to run. This helps out, CI and various, just having an improved developer experience. It also helps out with some of the automated, like agentic backporting stuff. The more CI that we can run faster, the more PRs we're able to do CI on. And so he's had four or five PRs recently that kind of optimize or improve functional tests, and make them quicker to run, as well as he's been working on some other indexing optimizations and making reindex and re-indexing from scratch and all of that kind of stuff faster and more performant. And so he has a PR open right now to get that to merge in some accomplishments there and some optimizations. But we can move on to the next slide, and you can see the backporting progress. Um, there are a bunch of PRs open right now that Constantine and I just have to do the like human review on. There was a lot of stuff that was done by AI, and we just need to review and get merged in. So hopefully in the next cycle, we'll see a good chunk of automated backport PRs merged in. If we move on to the next slide, we can see the PRs merged in the last little bit. And here there are a couple of automated backport PRs or other backport PRs, as well as the proposal, governance UI, some governance fixes for reg tests that improve functional tests and make them less flaky. The compact filter stuff that we talked about. Yeah, as well as I forgot to mention this on the other slides, but one of the optimizations for syncing was using an asynchronous worker to validate BLS signatures, and this is very helpful for the quorum commitments that we validate in blocks. And there are potentially other improvements here that we could do by aggregating them first or something like that. But this is something that needs some more investigation in order to kind of ensure that it's being implemented properly. But this was a kind of a easy implementation that used a lot of functionality that already existed in the code base. So yeah, that is a wrap on core, and we can move on to mobile.
Sounds good. Thanks, Pasta. All right, so on Android, we had to upgrade to Android 15. The small change on both Android and iOS to update our block share link. This just makes for a better Dash branded experience. We did evaluate a new on-ramp partner, Flip API, their API Flip, just to see how it conforms to our current designs that we have for on-ramps. And then for Dash Spend CTX, we had some purchase delays that we had to evaluate and do some work on. And then some of the last work on Dash Spend for Piggy cards, which was scheduling our data loads. We are doing kind of some final touch-ups for the Piggy cards implementation. We're hoping to start the beta this week. It'll be a public beta, which essentially will provide access to both CTX and Piggy card gift cards. So announcements will be made on that when it's ready. We made some small changes on iOS, that same block share change and a small mixing text typo. So that'll go out as a small point release probably in the next couple days. That's it for, I'd say, the traditional mobile development. Sam can probably continue on with iOS specific.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I didn't want to write a lot of things. I just wanted to show a demo of where we're at. I said that there was a 50-50 chance if we'd have SPV in by today. Well, it turns out that we have some parts of SPV in, so it was a success, but it's not all working. So kind of more of a partially there. And I'm going to show people what things look like now. So let me share the simulator. I made a new little icon here just because I wanted a nice icon in the meantime. But yeah, so this is kind of what things currently look at like. We still have the whole section on platform over here. We have your identities. Well, currently I didn't add any identities. Like all the stuff that we've seen before, like all platform queries, all state transitions are working if you have an identity. But right now, what we've been focusing on is core and core synchronization. Let me see if anything's changed in settings. Oh, here you're able to switch the network that you're working on. Currently DevNet, I don't think is working, but mainnet and testnet up here are working. What else do we have here? I'm not sure if there's anything else in the settings that's different from before. So let's go into wallets. So you're able to create a new wallet like this, and you can, so this is, just so people understand, this is an SDK demo. This is probably not the UI. I mean, this is not the UI that will ship with the iOS app, but it showcases the capabilities of the wallet. So once we have all the capabilities working, then we'll integrate into the current wallet that's ready for DashPay. So, you know, we did not have any core functionality 2 weeks ago in iOS. So there's a lot now here. So let's give it a name. Okay, demo. Let's say we're creating the wallet for mainnet and testnet. And we're putting in a PIN. You can import an existing wallet, or you can, you know, just have it generate one. So I'm just going to have it generate one and then press create. Here's the recovery phrase of this wallet. I'm never going to use it for anything, so you guys can use take this recovery phrase if you want. There won't be any funds on it. So here, create wallet, and now we see that we have the wallet here down here, demo. These were old wallets that I could probably erase. They were saying mainnet because at the very beginning I created them only for mainnet, and I added that as the name. But yeah, I mean, if you had a wallet that was only on mainnet, let's create another one. Wallet 2, wallet M mainnet only, and then you did create. So this one's only on mainnet, and now if we switch to testnet here, switching actually takes like 5 seconds. So just bear with me. So that's a little known limitation that I have to fix. Now you see that the mainnet one is no longer visible, but we'll just go back to mainnet for the demo. Yeah, so now let's look at these wallets and what they have inside of them. So a wallet is a collection of accounts. So we have the main account that holds funds. It has a series of in its address pool, it has a series of receive and change addresses. These automatically go up based off of something called the gap limit. It has a CoinJoin account, identity invitation account, identity registration, identity top up not bound. We also have an identity top up bound. This is because of a discrepancy in how we did identity top ups between Android, which was doing them according to the actual documentation, and what I wrote later on, which was a mistake, but was actually the right way of doing it, and the original documentation was incorrect that I wrote too. So like it was my fault. But we will support both types of identity top-up derivation paths. And then we have like various key types in here. So if you just went in and you like looked at your provider owner keys, these are masternode owner keys that are associated to the wallet. You can see like here are the derivation paths for the various keys that exist. You can select that you would like to see the private key. You have to put in your PIN to be able to see it, and you can unlock it. Ooh. Well, it shows it in WIF format. I don't know why the hex format isn't shown right now. A little issue, but yeah. So that's basically the ability to see those keys. Yeah. So just so for people who don't know how things work, an account basically has like it's a collection of addresses, and as new transactions come in, they mark the addresses as used and derive more addresses that then are being used to check to see if transactions match the wallet, right? So yeah, so that's kind of the whole wallet part, and it's kind of almost done. Like, yeah, there are some things that I need to fix, but in general, it's working, right? As for syncing, not super great yet, but we're able to get header syncing working. So I'll just press start here, and you can see it's syncing just for the purposes of the demo. Wait, why is it not working? Oh, it is working. Is it working? Hmm. It doesn't seem like it's working. Let me try again. Um, let's see. Oh no. Wait, why is this happening like this? Okay. Okay, I see what I did wrong. When I created a wallet, um, it changed the locator for the headers, and now it's sending to the network a different locator. Um, Let me try just to see if I delete these wallets. And I restart. Will this help? It might. I'm not sure. No, it's sending. Oh, okay, let's try on testnet, maybe. Oh no, it did. It did just start. Oh, okay, it actually did work. Sorry. There we go, 1%. Aha, it's working. 3%, and this is syncing from scratch, right? So normally you don't sync from scratch. You sync from a checkpoint that's close to the end, right? But it's syncing right now from scratch, and it's going pretty quickly for the headers, and that's basically the system showing that it's working. With a lot of caveats, right? Like, you know, it's far from being done. Uh, it's probably going to require 2 weeks to get like the wallet with core working extremely well, just like all edge cases ironed out. Um, and working a lot faster. We want to improve the speed as well, working with checkpoints, working with like the right checkpoints, and everything, right? And getting making sure, like, I can imagine I don't know, I'm sure there are going to be issues somewhere that we're going to have to try to figure out, but it's been a lot of progress, and I'm sure, like there's nothing, there's no technological barrier that we're having, right? Like in the previous iterations, right? Like up to 2 months ago, there were extreme technological barriers. Like iOS was not making improvements because there were bugs. We're not hitting any issues. We're just like, they're just hundreds of thousands of lines of code to write, So, yeah. Okay. That's it. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool.
All right. Thank you very much. So let's see. So Dash News Italia updates on iOS and Yapper. I think iOS update we are done with. Any update on Yapper?
Yeah, so no code has been written on Yapper since it was shown off about a month ago. What we
Alright.
need from, like, I asked if any community devs would participate. Um, I haven't seen any pull requests yet towards it. Uh, I have found one developer that might be interested in it. I talked with him yesterday, and he might make a proposal to the network or get paid through Incubator or even get paid through DCG. We'll try to figure that out to try to make some improvements there,
All right.
and get it actually shipped, right?
Thank you.
I don't think Yapper will like ship fully until version 2.3 of platform, because there are some things that are needed from platform for it to work like well. You can do basic things for now. Maybe there'll be like better versions at the beginning, but we definitely will need some specialized query systems to support it better.
All right. Thank you. So one more question. Are you using AI?
Yes, I'm using AI a lot. I'm using AI a lot, but it's actually quite interesting because last week the agent that I was using a lot didn't really work. So I had to go back and write a lot of code myself, and it slowed me down. And then I used a different agent, and that worked out better. But one thing that happened was that the agents are extremely good at writing a lot of code, like a lot, so much code. Six different methods that do almost the same thing. So you just are left with like this massive code base of, I would say, a lot of fluff that's not extremely well architectured. So I had in the last week, I had to go in and fix like pretty manually fix all of that. At one in the FFI, right? In one FFI layer, we had 126 calls, and I just reduced that down to 51 and kept like all of the functionality, right? We just had way too many calls that were doing duplicate of other calls. So yeah, AI is great. It's just not going to take over yet.
And I don't see any further questions, so thank you very much and see you in 2 weeks.
See you guys.
See
was fast.
you.